Good day, everyone. My name is Amole Kumamulawali. I will be your tutor on web development at SOAIR Africa. I will be taking you on a 3-month journey of web development, and this 3 months is divided into 24 sections and 12 weeks. So automatically we'll be having 2 sections per week. So under and we have a goal to meet as a student if you are coming to SOAIR Africa. We have a goal as a student. By the end of each month, you must be able to perform the tasks given. Yes, you must be able to perform the task given by the end of each month for you to get your certificate at SOAIR Africa. So now our class will be starting with our month 1 activity, which says foundations of what of web development. And under this month 1, we have what we have 8 sections, and we have 4 weeks under this month 1. So under week 1, we have a topic called HTML basics. But for the whole of month 1, we will be studying the foundations of web development, which is how web development evolves, what is web development, what you understand about web development, moving to our HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Yes. So now we will be moving to our week 1, which is the HTML basics. And under our week 1, we have our section 1, which says overview of what of web development. And I'll be using a PowerPoint slide to explain this. We have our week 1, section 1, overview of web development. What do we understand? Okay, before that, I know there is a question that you guys will be asking yourself right from time, that all these websites I'm using or all these applications I'm using, either on your Android phone or on your iPhone, how did they come up with this thing? How did they build this thing? How is this thing working? That's how you are in the right place at SOAIR to give solution to your concerns. Yes. So we'll be starting with the overview of web development. Web development refers to the process of creating, building, and maintaining websites and web applications that are hosted on the internet. Yes, web development refers to the process of creating, doing what? Of creating, building, and maintaining websites and web applications that are hosted on the website, on the internet. If we are talking about the process of creating, you know what they mean by creating and building and maintaining. We all understand that English. But the only English I want to explain here is that are hosted on the internet. Do you know that if our websites are not hosted on the internet, there's no way we can have access to them? We can't even have access to them. We can't know what they are doing on the website. And any website we don't have access to is because they've not like hosted it on the internet. It has not been hosted yet. Yes. And these websites are just static websites. Maybe I just build the website for myself, and I want just to be seeing it on my browser or on my screen, like a web page. I can just build a web page, then I will just be showing people up and down. But user don't have access to it anytime they want. It's not called a website yet. And the English here says that it encompasses a wide range of tasks, technologies, and skills aimed at developing functional and visually appealing websites. Before I explain in computer terms, let me explain in our real life activities. This part, wide range of tasks, technologies, and skills. Let's say now I'm hungry and I'm telling you that I want to eat rice, or I feel like eating rice, I should know that automatically I've bring up a tax. Like, the tax is I want to eat rice, abi. And if I want to solve this tax, I want to give solution to the tax, on one way or the other, is either I go to an eatery or a restaurant and get rice, abi, or I do what, I go to the market and get what, and get rice, pepper, seasoning, and every other equipment I will use in getting the rice done, right? So that's the tax. I have to solve that tax. hmm? I have to solve that tax. So the technologies I want to use in cooking the rice, what technology do I want to use? Is it, I want to use charcoal, I want to use gas cooker, I want to use electric cooker, did I want to use pot, did I want to use boiler, anyone I want to use, that's the technology. And the skills, what type of rice do I want to cook? Is it jollof rice I want to cook? Is it fried rice? Is it ofada rice? Is it normal white rice? That's the skills aimed at developing my what, my rice, developing my food, the taste, the tax I've brought up, I want to solve it. That's the tax, the skills aimed at developing and giving solution to that problem I've created for myself, which is rice, the rice I want to cook. So now, bringing it into web development, let's say for instance now, I'm a web developer. It's not even for instance, I'm a web developer, and I look at my community, like, okay, let's say for instance, my community now, before people can get food, they have to move from this place to a far away place to get food. Let's say, okay, in a site, an upcoming site, whereby if they want to, if people within that site, if they want to get any food, or the site I'm talking about, like a developing area, that's, understand. So those aspects now, they are, before they can people in the community in that area, before they can get food, they have to move out from that place and go to a far away place to get food. Okay, I'm a developer within that community. I can just do what, I can just create a website whereby people in that community can just do what, can just have access to, whereby in a way that they don't even need to leave their house to get anything they want to get outside. They don't need to like stress themselves if they want to get anything outside. That's where all this global and child deck comes in. Yes, they are tax people solve. Let's say this kind of tax, okay, let me continue with the illustration I'm giving. Okay, how can I solve this problem you're having with this community? I can just build an application whereby, an application that will be interacting with marketers outside, vendors outside, that they are selling goods, and rendering services to people, like they have access to it, and we within that community we also have access to it. I can just build a website. Automatically, I'm already doing what, I'm already performing a task. I've seen a problem, and the problem now is now a task to me. Like, I want to tackle this problem. How do I want to tackle this problem? By doing what? By building a website. A website that will tackle what? That will tackle that problem. That instead of us going to a far away place, stressing ourselves, going outside to get whatever we want to get, we can just stay within our house with our comfort and get anything we want to get. That's the task, and we solve that task by doing what? By creating a website that will tackle that problem. And if we are talking about technologies, we have different type of technologies in web development. From the front end to the back end, we have different types of technologies. We have our HTML, we have our CSS, we have our JavaScript, we have our back end, which is Node.js, Express. We have a lot of technologies we can use to solve and tackle problems. Yes, and we have skills. Yes, you have to be skilled. If I'm not skilled, there's no I want to build a website. Let's say for instance now I have a car, and that car developed a problem or broke down on the road, while I'm on my way. And I'm not a mechanic, I'm not an engineer. So what do I have to do? I have to call a professional to come and do what? To come and solve that problem. That's what they mean by skills, and skills aimed at developing functional and visually appealing websites. So that's what they mean by skills. That skills, you have to be skilled for you to be able to solve that problem, for you to be able to handle that technology. If you are not skilled, you can't handle that technology, you can't solve that problem, you can't solve the task. So that's what they mean by skills aimed at developing functional and visually appealing website. The skills you have to handle the technology to solve that task, aimed at developing the website that you want to build to perform or to do what? To solve, to give solution to that problem. That's what they mean by that. And that's the overview of web development. Let's just make it simple as that. Now let's move to how the web works. The web works from what? From the user, the client side, with the user at the client. From the user to the browser, from the browser to the what? To the server, and from the server back to the website, and the website giving it out, and from the server back to the browser, and the browser giving it back as a website. Just like this illustration here, the user can go to the browser, and from the browser can go to the website. But a user can also go from the browser sending a request. We can send a request either by clicking on a link or searching using our HTTPS. And what do we mean by HTTPS? HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. It is a secure version of the HTTP protocol used for transferring data over the internet. Do you understand? It is a what? It is a protocol used for transferring data over the internet. It is used to transfer data from one place to another. That's what HTTPS is working for. So we can either send our requests by clicking on the link or using our URL HTTPS to send requests to the server. Then the server processes it and send it back as a response to the browser. So the browser display it out as a website. Hope you guys are getting me. The browser will display it back as a website. So we are seeing the response as a website, not just an ordinary response. We are seeing it back as a website. So now the application is the user search for something. Okay, let me use our Google as example. Whenever you search for a question or you ask question on the Google, you either use the first thing you do is www.google.com on your browser, and it brings out the Google search bar for you. It brings out this Google search bar for you. From the Google search bar, through an URL, you search for what is computer. So from the what is computer, the browser, which is the Google now is serving as a media, it's a means of transportation from the browser to the server. The Google now is helping you to send the request to the server, like okay, a user is asking for a question, which is what is computer. So when the Google sends the request to the server process the request and give it back as a response to the browser. So from the browser you are seeing it as a website. That you'll be seeing it like the response will now be okay, computer is an electronic device which process data, store data, and process data back as an information. So it will bring it out that way. That's how the webs work. The webs from the user to the browser, from the browser to the server, and from the server back to the browser as a website. That's how the webs work. Do we understand? Also, this server, what is server? Server is just like a place, hmm? A place, or a place where, I'm very sorry, a server is a place where we keep our web pages. A server is a place that hosts or keeps our web pages, where we get our informations from. hmm? That's what the servers means. And our browser, the browser just like an intermediary between the user and the what, and the server. Without the browser we can't have access to the server. So that's what the browser is standing for. So moving on, I'll be moving to web development now in full. So our web development are subdivided into two. We have the front end and the back end. We have the back end engineer or front end developer. We have the back end engineer or the back end developer. So let's move on. I will move on to front end versus back end roles and tools. So who are front end and who are back ends? Front end developers are these people that focuses on the visual and interactive aspects of a website or web applications, which we as a users directly engage with. The parts of the website that you have access to as a user, that's where we call front end developer. They are people that builds or develop the aspects of the website where users can directly engage with. You can engage with it directly as a user. That's they are built, those aspects of the website are built by the front end developer. They build and style the user interface. Yes, all the user interface you are seeing on your website, the decoration of your website, how beautiful your website is the work of a front end developer. I'm very sorry. So we have tools. We have HTML, we have CSS, and we have JavaScript, and we have other languages used in front end developer use. And we have the back end developers. We have back end developers. We have their rules. They handle the server side logic, database interaction, and application functionalities that the user does not directly see. Just say, let's say, the way you store your data into database, the way your data are collected, your information are collected, are stored into the database. You as a user, you don't know how they are stored. That's the back end. They do what? They performed the logic of how your informations are being stored, how you retrieve your informations, how you log in, how you have access to a website. That's the work of a back end developer. And they have tools like they also have their own tools. They have languages like Node.js, Python, PHP, Ruby, and Java. And they have databases like they have two types of databases, NoSQL and SQL. And NoSQL, we have MongoDB, Firebase, we have Redis. And SQL, we have MySQL, Postgre, Microsoft SQL, and Server. So we will be stopping there for now, for the moment. In our next video, I'll be moving to introduction to HTML and CSS. Thank you.